Your WXXV News 25 forecast first. Powered by Mississippi Power.
Temperatures will be cold tonight. Yeah, an average of about 42 degrees as we're getting towards daybreak. Mostly cloudy skies to start to find some clearing through the day tomorrow. By the way, temperatures in the 60s before noon. I'll definitely take that with even warmer temperatures by the time we get to the afternoon. That's your forecast first. WXXV News 25 starts right now.
We have developing news tonight on WXXV. Alabama's head football coach Nick Saban is retiring. Sports director Jevan McCoskey will be in studio with more.
Plus, students at Woolmarket Elementary receive a grant from Mississippi Power. We'll have what's coming to their school.
I'm WXXV Sports Director Jevan McCoskey, and coming up later in sports, we take a look at the front office changes heading to the Biloxi Shuckers organization.
Your news live right now. WXXV News 25.
Good evening and welcome to News 25 at 10. I'm Buhring.
And I'm Trey Tonnessen.
Biloxi PD announced the arrest of a teenager for 2 counts of drive-by shooting.
The arrest was made on January 8th. The suspect now on your screen, Jevan was arrested after 2 Biloxi residents were shot at on Graham Avenue. According to police, no one was injured during this incident.
Witnesses and evidence collected identified Cooley as a suspect. He was found at an apartment complex in Harrison County and taken into custody without incident. Happening earlier today on Highway 49, a 3-car crash caused traffic to back up. The crash happened near the intersection of 49 and South Swan Road around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Gulfport Police and AMR responded to the scene, which has since been cleaned up, and traffic is, of course, back to normal.
Students at Woolmarket Elementary recently received a generous donation by Mississippi Power to curate its school garden. News
25's Austin Lindsay details how the students are getting their hands dirty to make some magic happen.
Woolmarket Elementary is reviving its once vibrant garden. Thanks to a donation from Mississippi Power, students will be able to use the space to further their learning.
Students in the gifted program at the elementary school started the process of remodeling the Frog Hollow garden. Gifted teacher Samantha Richardson saw the need for the once abandoned space, which led to a $700 grant by Mississippi Power to fund the students that needed equipment to revitalize the space. Richardson says the space will help foster more hands-on learning.
Our goal is to make this where all of the students are able to come out here and enjoy learning, reading a book, doing a simple reading passage with their teachers out here, just where they have a chance to get outside.
And also I want to see lots of ladybugs and maybe some butterflies. If butterflies do come, we can actually learn the butterfly life cycle and absorb.
Really thanking Mississippi Power for this, for the $700, because we can really make this a better place.
The school says it's open to further donations and tools as the work begins to revamp the garden. In Woolmarket, Austin Lindsay, WXXV News 25.
All right, Trey, I have to make this known. My hands are constantly cold.
Yeah, and that's not a good feeling.
Inside, outside, they're constantly cold.
You need some of that, what's that gel they have in the round 2 that the working people use, like carpenters and stuff? It's orange.
Yeah.
Can't think of it.
Maybe not.
Well, you know who will have an answer about other cold natured things is meteorologist Jeff Vorick, who's made his way back to the Gulf Coast. Jeff?
Trey, I was really enjoying that sunshine on vacation, but of course I have to come back to give you all the weather here on the beautiful Mississippi coast and your gorgeous view provided by H.L. Raymond Properties. This is the Top Danby's Restaurant and Bar. Winds are calm. Obviously, you can tell the reflections along the water. It is also quite cold, 45 degrees. Partly cloudy skies continue, and those turn mostly cloudy later on. Your hometown forecast provided by Backyard Paradise Pools, spotlighting Lucedale, 40 degrees. Partly to mostly cloudy skies built in, 40 degrees overnight tonight.
As temperatures continue to drop, organizations across the Gulf Coast are working quickly to prepare unsheltered people from the cold.
It's hard to imagine being outside in the cold for days with nowhere to warm up. And that's why News 25's Brooke Parker shares with us the experience of one unsheltered woman.
I just recently got a blanket just about 2 weeks ago. And if it wasn't for that one blanket, me and my dogs would be frozen.
Tracy Harper and her husband, both unsheltered and disabled, have experienced over 20 winters outside. They've received help from the community, but each day they fight the elements.
Say you only got a small tent, you get a tent from like Back Bay or someplace like that. And you get a small tarp. But say that stuff gets wet, or your clothes get wet and you don't have any clothes, or your bedding gets wet.
Organizations offer hot showers and clothes dryers for this very reason, but the goal for organizations like Open Doors Homeless Coalition is for unsheltered people to have a home.
We need a shelter. We absolutely need a shelter, and I think if we can get more people to agree to allow that in their neighborhoods, allow that in the communities, that will help.
The coalition helps find housing for unsheltered people like the Harpers. This winter will hopefully be their last on the streets, as the Harpers are expected to sign a lease for a home by the end of January.
I'm so excited. I'm almost in tears, that excited, because it's like being homeless and being able to know you can be up off the streets is a blessing. You know, even if it's just a small little bitty help, like a motel room for a night, it's a blessing.
In Biloxi, Brooke Parker, WXXV News 25.
Tracy Harper tells us some ways you can help unsheltered people make it through the winter that isn't the usual coat and blanket drive. Think about waterproof bags to store clothes and blankets, as well as matches and raincoats. Those are all beneficial. She says anything you would want when it's a mucky day out is perfect. Well, CenterPoint Energy has released tips to help you stay safe as temperatures continue to drop.
With forecasts showing sub or near sub freezing temperatures, CenterPoint encourages annual inspection of your heating system to ensure safety and efficiency. They also suggest cleaning and changing your furnace filter regularly. Turning down your thermostat by 7 to 10 degrees when you aren't home can save you money. An important step to follow is making sure you keep that warmer air in. Weather strips, closed blinds, and even clockwise fans are all beneficial in keeping that warm air circulating.
And here are some safety tips, and these include keeping space heaters out of reach of children and pets. Also, never use stoves or ovens for space heating. Make sure to test your smoke detectors and to know the signs of carbon monoxide poisoning or any gas leaks. Well, developing at this hour, Alabama head football coach Nick Saban retires from coaching. His wife has released a statement in regards to their foundation, saying it has been an incredible run the last 17 years at the University of Alabama, and we take with us many amazing memories.
Let's turn it over to our sports director, Jevan McCoskey, who has been covering this story closely tonight. And Jevan, we understand Nick Saban is now talking himself about his big announcement.
It only took a few minutes for the news of Alabama head coach Nick Saban retiring to take social media by storm. Around 4 o'clock Wednesday evening, Rob Lowe of ESPN reported that Nick Saban, arguably the greatest college football coach or football coach in general of all time, is retiring. Nick Saban and the University of Alabama released a statement earlier this evening regarding the decision. In the release, Saban says, quote, "The University of Alabama has been a very special place to Terry and me. We have enjoyed every minute of our 17 years being head coach at Alabama, as well as becoming a part of the Tuscaloosa community. It is not just about how many games we won and lost, but it's about the legacy and how we went about it. We always tried to do it the right way. The goal was always to help players create more value for their future, be the best player they could be, and be more successful in life because they were part of the program. Hopefully, we have done that, and we will always consider Alabama our home," end quote. And after the news broke on the social media platform X, it was reported that Saban addressed his team on Wednesday to let them know that he will be stepping away from the game of football. Saban's coaching career spanned over 26 seasons, including the last 17 with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Saban sits 7th in all-time wins as a head coach with 297. 91 of those wins came when Saban was head coach of Michigan State, Toledo, and LSU, but a bulk of those victories, 206 to be exact, came as his head coach of the Crimson Tide. Saban was so successful during his time in Alabama that he produced more NFL first-round draft picks, 44, than he had losses at his entire time with the Crimson Tide, just 29. Saban holds the record for most national championships by a head coach with 7, one with LSU in 2003 and 6 with Alabama. He has 11 SEC championships to his resume and won the SEC Coach of the Year award 5 times throughout his career. Now, obviously, this impacts Alabama players, recruits, coaches, and college football really as a whole, but I've seen it even right here in the studio. It has an impact on everyone down here in the South, including Lori and Trey at the desk.
It really does, Jevan, and I grew up an Alabama fan, born and raised. One of my uncles played for Bear and all that, and I do have Paul Bear Bryant's hat. You know, not the one that he wore, of course. And now I'm thinking I'm going to need a Nick Saban hat. I think I'm going to need his hat now.
Funny Lori brought that up. You know what I've got? My middle name is Bryant, after the Bear. So I may name my kid Saban.
Do it.
Yeah.
Or Nick.
Or Nick. But his body of work speaks for itself. Whether
really
you have
does.
personal connections or not, if you stayed for Saban all 4 years like they used to do way back in the day, you would have got a ring.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a proven fact.
Yeah.
Isn't that the case?
It's a fact. Every class was able to get.
It's a fact, and it's also a fact that Alabama impacts the entire country. But before we head back to news, it's time for our Sports Daily Poll. Should Nick Saban have retired? You can vote on our website at WXXV.com, hitting the news drop-down menu and clicking the Sports tab to vote on this one, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen now. Lori, Trey, back to you.
And make sure to go comment on our Facebook page and let us know what you think about this developing story in regards to Nick Saban retiring.
Jevan will have more on local sports coming up in just a bit.
And coming up after this quick break, Jeff will have another look at your forecast. Plus, it's that time of year again for some popular treats. We'll explain.
Plus, we'll have a look at this year's inflation report.
One Southern Miss basketball player has been named the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. We take a look after this quick timeout.
And before we head to break, it's time for our daily poll. What should be the #1 priority for Mississippi lawmakers and the governor this legislative session?
Here are your options. Lower the taxes, make better schools, have more high-paying jobs, or create safer communities. It can also be something else.
You can vote by going to our website, WXXV25.com, and clicking on the WXXV vote link in the news drop-down menu, or use the QR code on your screen.
You're watching WXXV News 25 with Lori, Trey, Jeff, and Jevan. WXXV News 25. And now, your weather authority.
Me too.
I bet everybody else at home is cold.
How do you think I feel? I was in Key West, Florida 4 days ago.
Yeah, why didn't you bag up the sunshine and bring it on
I
in,
brought
man?
the sunshine, just the warm air did not make it through that cold front. Anyway, that's totally how weather works. Let's go to the actual facts of the matter here. What we're dealing with, 52. Those are the warmest spots in Gulfport and Biloxi. 42 Ocean Springs and Lucedale, cooler spots, but Bogalusa 38 and Wiggins 40. Those are the two coldest readings we have. These temperatures will keep falling overnight tonight too. Partly cloudy skies on average, but mostly cloudy to start your day. A little bit less cold. That being said, you do want to have a layer or two on when you go out the door tomorrow morning. Those southerly winds, rather, will make things a little bit more pleasant out the door for you, and it will make for a really nice one tomorrow afternoon. Upper 60s possible inland. Clearing skies towards the second half of the day. Mostly cloudy skies do start the day, but it will improve. Those southerly winds get a little bit breezy by the afternoon, but it is going to be lovely tomorrow. We definitely will take the warm conditions. Something to note, across our area, Pascagoula River is in what's called action stage at the moment. The Harrison County tributaries, say the Wolf River, Biloxi River, Chudacabuff, those are now all those are all below flood stage and continue to fall. The Pearl River, though, is in flood stage, and that flood warning is in effect until Sunday at midnight. Action stage likely through portions of next week. Mississippi Power Dopplers, dry cloud cover continues to stream in from portions to our west. As high pressure moves east, start to get some southerly flow reintroduced, of course, but these thin upper level clouds will be around into the start of your day tomorrow. One thing I want to get right to is this potential for severe weather. This is going to start across portions of the Arklatex and eventually manifest to points east. Timing is why we're in a level 1 of 5 threat for tomorrow night, and into Friday we're in a level 2 of 5 threat. But this system's not necessarily going to be getting itself going all too well. Off to our east is where there's a level 3 of 5 threat. This is not going to be anything like the impactful weather we had on Monday. Maybe some isolated damage and wind gusts, but not the widespread high winds and very heavy rainfall. It will be quick amounts of rainfall. Thing to note, the moisture is not going to recover all that efficiently. It's going to take a little bit to do so. By the time you get into the overnight hours Thursday into Friday, not a ton of moisture. Again, notice the color palette up here. We're in the green sector there. You need reds on this map to really show some good moisture. Not even looking at yellows really until you get out ahead of the cold front where you're going to get some moisture pooling. That eventually happens, but it all goes away once that cold front comes in. It will be a cold one this weekend behind that fact. Instability's not really going to be there either. Not thinking a lot of discrete cells or pop-up activity. You do get a line of thunderstorms potentially to move through early portions of Friday, about 5 a.m. to noon's my thinking with timing. That's out of here though by the time you get into the latter portions of the day. Real quick look at the futurecast. Cloud coverage does pick up through the day at times, and really tomorrow I think more breaks in the clouds will be noticeable. No rain until the overnight hours. Notice these are showers popping up, not supercells at least. Squall line manifests itself, potential for a quick very isolated spin up is certainly there, but damaging winds are the main threat with this. It moves east and really starts to pick up across portions of Alabama. Okay, there we go. Now my clicker starts to work. Cold front moves east. Things get cold by the time we get into this week or into this portions of this weekend. And looking at the next several days, 42 tonight, not awful. 66 during the day tomorrow. Threat for severity is around with some thunderstorms that are going to be around the first half of Friday. And Friday is not a complete wash though. By the time we get to the weekend though, it is going to be cold again.
Of course. Same story, a different day.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be all right. We'll be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, no bread and milk, Trey.
Yeah. Don't rush to the stores just yet.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay with us.
Alabama fans across the country and right here in the studio, in through the nose, out through the mouth, big deep breath. I know a lot has happened to you today, but we have a lot of sports to get into. But before we do that, it's time for our Sports Daily poll. Should Nick Saban retire? We're up to 70% yes, 30% no. You can vote by going to our website, WXXV25.com, and clicking on the WXXV vote link in the news drop-down menu, or you can use the QR code that you see on your screen right now.
WXXV Sports.
The Biloxi Shuckers organization has made an announcement with changes coming to their front office and the organization. The Shuckers have announced front office promotions and additions for the 2024 season beginning on Friday, April 5th. The promotions include 4 current employees and 3 new additions, including the return of Barry Lyons as team ambassador. He previously served as the Shuckers team ambassador from 2017 to 2022 and spent the 2023 season as the manager of the Lexington Counterclocks in the Atlantic League. Lyons is a 7-year MLB veteran, having spent time with the Los Angeles Dodgers, California Angels, Chicago White Sox, and the New York Mets. And according to the Biloxi Shuckers website, Lyons will serve as the team ambassador throughout the community and assist in community relations efforts. Well, the Shuckers, they're not the only Magnolia State minor league team making headlines this week, as the Mississippi Braves have recently announced they're going to be leaving the state at the end of the 2024 season. The Mississippi Braves are the AA affiliate of the Atlanta Braves, and at the end of the 2024 season, they'll be packing their bags, leaving Pearl, Mississippi, and relocating to Columbus, Georgia to start the 2025 season. The organization sent out a heartfelt message to their fans on X on Tuesday saying, quote, "We want to thank Pearl, the surrounding Jackson community, and the state of Mississippi for the incredible support for the franchise over the last 19 years. We have loved creating memories with you at Trustmark Park, and we look forward to bringing you an amazing 2024 season," end quote. To the hardwood we go as the Mississippi State men's basketball team made a massive statement in the SEC on Wednesday night. State was led by senior forward Tolu Smith with 23 points. The Bulldogs shot 50% from the field to help take down the number 5 ranked Tennessee Volunteers 77-72. This is the Bulldogs' 12th win of the year and first win in conference play. State will welcome Alabama on Saturday for their next conference game. Well, what happens when you have a triple-double, a huge game against a top 25 ranked opponent, and 2 wins in 1 week? Well, for USM's Andre Curbelo, it leads to being named the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. The former Illinois point guard made USM history last week against Georgia State, recording the first Golden Eagle triple-double since the 1980 season. Curbelo's stat line read 13 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds to help secure the win over the Panthers. But his week didn't stop there. Curbelo posted 15 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, and even added a steal as the Golden Eagles stole a game over the 19th ranked team in the country, James Madison University. Congratulations to Curbelo on his big week and all of his accomplishments.
And now, the play of the day. Brought to you by Cannon Motors of Mississippi.
Today's play of the day happened just before the Pelicans tipped off against the Warriors on Wednesday. Current Pelican Larry Nance Jr. decided to put down the ball during warm-ups and pick up a new hobby. Lance Jr. took his opportunity with the camera to take some pictures of Pelicans guard CJ McCollum. The Pelicans got their 23rd win of the season, 141-105 over the Warriors. That's going to do it for sports. Stick around after this quick timeout for more from WXXV News 25.
Your Weather Authority. Brought to you by Southern Charm Furniture, where quality and design matter.
While it is still cold out there, here's something to note though. Temperatures are a few degrees warmer than this time last night. So we will certainly take that as there is a bit of a warm up. And this morning it was certainly a cold start out there with a lot of spots recording a freeze. Bay St. Louis, Picayune, Poplarville, Bogalusa, all four of you recorded one. Pascagoula got down to 36. Biloxi was the warm spot at 41 degrees. And the afternoon was nice. A lot of sunshine. Breezes weren't too terrible, but it was a little bit cooler. It was cooler than seasonal averages as well. But tomorrow, flip the script. Here's what you got. High temperatures in the 60s across a lot of the area. Upper 60s are possible for a lot of areas inland as well. So get out and enjoy it tomorrow. It will be a lovely one, maybe on the breezy side in the afternoon, but outside of that, it will be just fine. Now, as we head towards Friday, there will be another frontal system moving through the area, but notice not a whole lot of intensity with thunderstorm activity until you get east of I-65. There is a level 2 of 5 threat for our southern 6 counties. Potential for damaging wind gusts looks to be the dominant threat with that, but more of a tornado threat as you go east towards from Montgomery up towards portions of North and South Carolina, but not necessarily looking at a Monday type scenario for our area. Things will be a lot more tame, certainly, other than a bit windy by the afternoon, but not the winds we were dealing with on Monday. On the water, winds out of the southeast 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 3 foot seas. Those build through the day Thursday. Small craft need to exercise caution, but small craft advisory is likely required for Friday with winds that will shift to westerly 20 to 30 knots, 3 to 5 foot seas. Your Mississippi Power extended forecast, I'll just be honest with you folks, has a lot of changes ahead. 60% chance of thunderstorms the first portion of Friday. A cold one this weekend, but that is a far cry compared to the cold we get next week with hard freeze conditions likely through the middle portions of the week with temperatures starting off in the 20s. So do be sure to think about the 4 Ps.
Well, for many people, a new year means setting new financial goals. It's important to understand the economic outlook for the 2024 before making any big decisions. This Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the latest Consumer Price Index.
It measures the prices of goods over time. That could be a key indicator of what we can expect for our bank accounts in 2024. Jen Sullivan breaks down how inflation and prices will impact you.
As we kick off 2024, the question for many consumers is how inflation will impact their wallet this year. There are a variety of indicators which show how the economy is doing, like the recent report that showed 216,000 jobs were added in December, exceeding expectations.
We have seen very strong GDP growth too, right? Productivity is above 5%. So that means that the inflation rate, right, combined with wage growth, there is some room for workers to keep doing better without having inflationary pressure.
While inflation is cooling, the cost of goods is still high. And interest rates remain high, which means if you're looking to buy a house or car this year, the cost to borrow that money will be more. And it doesn't look like those numbers will come down anytime soon.
Well, the Fed won't start talking about when they're going to cut rates. Market expectations are now forming that we'll see an interest rate cut in the middle of 2024.
If you are in the market to buy a home or car this year, experts say start getting your finances in order now. Check your credit reports. Monitor your credit score. If you can, save 20% down payment. Review home buying assistance programs. And lastly, pay down your other consumer debt. The good news is that financial experts predict interest rates for homes and cars will likely come down before the Fed makes any changes.
Interest rates on mortgages and automobiles will begin coming down well in advance of that, and they already are.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
For the latest news, weather, and sports, all you have to do is visit our website, WXXV25.com. If you see news happening where you live, reach out to us by email at news@WXXV25.com. Well, get ready for Thin Mints, Tagalongs, and Samoas. Girl Scout cookie season is here. This is the year to settle back into tried and true favorites because there are no new cookies this season.
And in fact, Girl Scouts are taking away the Raspberry Rally. That was last year's new cookie, and it's been discontinued.
No matter what your preference is, get ready to open your wallet. The price of a box is going up from $5 to $6.
Ooh.
$5, $6. I'd pay $10 for a box of Samoas. I'm not kidding. It's the best one. No need for new cookies when you got Samoas. Online orders will start shipping next month. But if you know a Girl Scout, you might be able to get your hands on yours a little sooner.
I have a lot in my neighborhood, and I've already ordered mine.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm just saying.
I need to call my niece.
All right, real quick, favorite one. We already know yours is Samoas.
Samoas.
Samoas it is.
I like the ones that are chocolate covered with the peanut butter.
Oh, okay, those are good.